Hi, my name is Reverend Rosemary Dalton, and I'm the President, CEO, and founder of MAFA LLC, Mothers Against Family Abuse. And I'm making this video for words of encouragement, inspiration, and talk about a few things that I've noticed. With everything going on, what I have noticed is a lot of you want to give up. And we can't let you do that. You can't give up. These are your kids. This is our future. And if we give up every time things get tough, we'll never get anywhere. You guys got to really remember, history repeats itself. And this is just like the Holocaust. And if you really knew your history, then you would know what would happen. First, they take the children, just like they're doing to us. The next thing, they take our guns. And then after they take their guns, we go into martial law, and then they start putting us into camps. That's what they do. That is the plan. It's called genocide. We're overpopulated. They use our children because they have talents. And all the children that have talents, they make money on, and they make them to be successful people that they can collect money on. Our children are cash cows. We are the cattle, and we reproduce the cattle, and then they take what they want. And we can't let that no more. We've always turned a blind eye until it happens to us. But the problem is nobody's listening. If you give up, then what will your children be able to have? What will be their future? If you give up, how will they find you? These kids love you, and they don't want you giving them up. They don't want you to forget about them. They don't want you to put your tail between the legs. They need you to fight. And I mean fight. They need you to tell your neighbor. They need you to go to the grocery store when you meet somebody new. Tell them what's going on. Get people to listen. And if we don't get people to listen and make them open their eyes to see what's really going on, then we have a real problem. I don't want to go to a camp. I don't want to be in martial law. I want the best president to take it, whichever one. It doesn't matter to me. Everybody's to each their own. Me personally, my preference, because I don't agree with any of them, I'd vote Mickey Mouse. Why? Because he's a public figure and he's about family and fun and enjoyment and togetherness. And that's what kind of president we need, is somebody that is about family togetherness. Somebody that is about the family values. But that's what America's forgotten. America has been based on family and only family. But if you give up, who will teach the kids? If you give up, who will wake up the people? If you give up, what are you willing to lose? Are you willing to lose every last bit of freedom we do have left? We still have freedom of speech, and we still have our mouths, and we still have a voice, and we still can make this happen. It's not too late. We are under spiritual warfare, and there's nothing I love more than freedom of speech. We get to stand up, and we get to speak up and make our voices heard. But in order for that to happen, you have to stand up. You can't be scared no more. You can't say, oh no, they're going to gag me. What really is a gag going to do? You can fight that. You have a First Amendment right. Yes, that's right. You have a First Amendment right. And that has the freedom of speech. They can't shut you up. And if they think you can, they're sadly mistaken. Because you got media and alternative media, and you got journalists that don't care, because we have the right to have freedom of speech. We have the right to free press, and we have the right to be freelance journalists, and we have the right to get out there and speak up and talk about whatever case we want to talk about, because it's the right to the public. We are the public. We are the people, and we decide what media is worth seeing. And if they can't see that, then they're the idiots. Now, you need to get off your butts, and you need to speak up, fight, and don't give up. Whatever you do, don't give up. If you lost in your case, you have time, file an appeal. Keep filing that appeal, and don't you dare throw in the towel. If you completely lose and there's no more appeals, then let's get the bills changed. Let's get this changed where they have to look into it and we can retrieve our babies that way. Whatever it takes. I am about freedom, and I am about my family, and I am about your family, and I am about everyone to have equality. And that's right, equality. Yeah, I'm a woman, and I believe in shared parenting. But I don't believe in shared parenting with the state. I don't believe in shared parenting with the government. If you plan on getting divorced, keep the government out of your business. If it's just between you and your spouse, then it's between you and your spouse. End it. Don't hurt the children. You want to be more narcissistic because you're mad at your other half, then keep it to yourself. Don't hurt those babies. That's child abuse, period. If you use your child as a shield, you're abusing that child. And people like me from MAFA will see it. And if we're told about it, we're going to interfere. Because you cannot abuse your children. This is called family abuse. You can't do that. If you are a man and you hate women and you're out there bashing women, well, you got to remember, we're the mothers of those children. And if you're going to bash us and you're going to sit here and talk how evil we are, there's a lot of good mothers out there that are very damn good. And we don't like being bashed. We don't like being stereotyped. Men don't either. Domestic violence. What happens to women happens to men too. Just men are too prideful to say anything. It takes women like us to say, hey, it does happen. So if you sit there and you think for 1 second that people like me won't stand up to you, you are sadly mistaken. I will not tolerate abuse, any kind of abuse. I mean, if you decide you're going to hit a child, if I see it, I'm coming after you. If you hit your spouse, whether it be man or woman, and I'm told about it, I'm going to come after you. If you go and you steal people's children and you think it's funny to call hotline, I'm going to come after you because that's false allegations. That is family abuse. You are deliberately destroying a family unit, and that is not allowed. These children were blessed to us. They were given to us by the Allmaker, the Creator, the God, whatever you want to call it. They were grown in our tummies, placed a seed into our bellies, and we grew these babies. They're our offspring, and I mean they're ours. They're part of our flesh and blood. You did the DNA, they're yours. No one, and I mean no one, has the right to take them. No one has the right to sit there and say, you can't have them. If you abuse your children, you're wrong. If you abuse your spouse, you're wrong. If you keep your children away from each other, you're wrong. It's not right. Family is the most precious thing in this whole wide world. And for you to think for 1 second that somebody doesn't care, you're wrong. I care. And I know there's thousands of us who really do know how the system is. They care. And I know you're not alone. You can always reach out. You can always, because there's advocates like me. There's advocates like Jennifer Wynn. There's advocates out there. Name a lot of them. You know, let's see. The Daily Hayes. They're advocates. They may be journalists, but they're good. Medical Kidnap. Terry LaPointe. She's good. You can go to Pro-Life. You know, Judah Myers. You can do a lot of things. They will help you. There is people out there that will help you. But you have to be able to get off your butts and do some of the legwork. Us advocates, we've been through this. We have lived this life. We know what it takes and how hard it is. But we know we can't do it for you. You have to get off your butts. You have to do the research. You have to listen. Because if you're not willing to listen and you're not willing to put in the time, then why should we? If you can't help yourself, why should us? Why should us advocates take the time if you're not willing to do it? I mean, we care. We don't want you being alone. But you have to do the work yourself. You have to know and take guidance. All we can do is guide you. All we can do is show you the way. You know, what you guys are expecting from us is wrong. We're there to make sure you're not alone. You have to make this fight. It's about your family, your children, and they have to be just as important to you as they are to the whole world, or why should we bother? You don't care, why should we? You have to care. So get off your butts. Quit throwing in the towel. Quit expecting everyone to do it for you. Get off this entitlement trip and know that these children are yours and they're your responsibility and they are yours to fight for. We fight together. We stand together. When you cry, we cry because we hurt just as much as you do. So let's do this. Get united. Stand together. I mean, just because you won your case doesn't mean that you don't stand with us. You live this. Don't quit because you won and you don't think you have to be in it no more. No, it don't work that way. My daughter's home. My kids are home. I have mine. I don't have to do this. I don't have to do one bit of this. I come out here helping you guys. I do this because I care. I care enough to say, I got my kids, but you guys didn't. So I'm going to get out here and help you guys get your kids home. At least give you the encouragement, the spiritual uplift, and to keep you from doing something stupid. Because right now, we need boots on ground. And I mean it. We need the boots on ground. We need to be out there protesting. We need to be out there with our signs out there. And you need to be out there being peaceful protesters. And we need to get our voice heard. But you're not willing to do that because you're too scared. Quit being scared. What's the worst thing they can do? Kill us? They already took your kids. What more do you want? You have nothing else. Your children is everything. And if you can't realize your children is your whole world and everything about that, they can't do any more harm. Kill you? That's putting you out of your misery. I mean, kill me. I mean, what more is it going to do? Yeah, I might have my kids, but you guys don't. I love my family. I love my children, but I worry about their future. I don't want this to happen to them. I don't want my grandchildren taken. I don't want nobody to hurt my family or my great-grandchildren or my great-great-grandchildren. I want the system to change. And that's what it's about. It's about making the system better so it doesn't affect our grandchildren, great-grandchildren, great-great-grandchildren, so our generations to come is safe. How's that going to happen unless we do something? We don't. So I'm going to end it here. Bits of words of encouragement. Don't give up. Don't ever give up. You are not alone. We are in this together, but it takes all of us to put the legwork in. We can't help you if you're not willing to help yourself. But I send my love and many blessings to you all. Have a good night, and I'll see you soon.